In the world of cybersecurity, it feels like the bad guys are always one step ahead. But something happened in 2023 that wasn't just another step, it was a giant leap. Researchers unveiled a whole new kind of threat, one that's powered by AI. So, yeah, let's get right into it. So, this really brings us to the core problem, right? How do you catch something that never looks the same twice? I mean, think about it. It's like trying to catch a spy who can literally change their face, their fingerprints, everything for every single mission. That's exactly the kind of headache we're up against with this new shape-shifting malware. And this shapeshifter, it has a name, BlackMamba. Now, this was cooked up by some brilliant researchers over at HYAS Labs, with a guy named Ian McShane leading the charge. But here's the key thing. They weren't trying to create a new weapon to attack people. Nope. Their goal was to fire off a warning shot, to send a really powerful message about just how scary AI can be when it's weaponized. And I really want to hammer this point home. BlackMamba isn't out there in the wild causing chaos right now. You got to think of it more like a proof of concept. It's the researchers basically holding up a giant sign that says, hey everyone, look what's possible now. And honestly, it's a pretty sobering glimpse into where cyber threats are headed. So the big question is, how on earth does this thing work? Well, you might be surprised to hear it uses the exact same kind of AI that so many of us are playing with every day. Yep, we're talking about the large language models behind chatbots like ChatGPT. The scary part is, they've taken this technology that's meant for, writing poems or answering our questions, and they've twisted it into a weapon for hiding and attacking. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's pull back the curtain and really understand the secret sauce here. What makes this shapeshifter tick, and why is it such a game changer? All right, first, there's a term we need to get our heads around: polymorphic malware. Now, this idea isn't totally new. It basically means malware that can change its own code to avoid getting caught, kind of like a chameleon. But what BlackMamba does with AI, well, it takes that concept and puts it on steroids. It's something way, way more radical. Okay, check out this comparison, because this is where it gets really mind-bending. Your typical old-school malware, think of it like a burglar who carries the same set of lockpicks to every single job. Sooner or later, security cameras, or in this case, antivirus software, recognize those tools, that signature. But BlackMamba? It shows up to the job with no tools. Instead, it builds a brand new, totally unique set of lockpicks on the spot, on the fly. And here's the kicker. Once it's done, the tools just vanish. They're never left behind on the hard drive. They only ever exist in the computer's short-term memory. And this is literally how it does it. The malware just sends a simple request, a prompt, to an AI model. It's just like you typing a question into a chatbot. It'll say something like, hey, write me some code that can log keystrokes. And poof, the AI spits out a completely original piece of code. It does this every single time, so there's never a repeating pattern for anyone to look for. It's wild. And that's the real magic trick. Because that malicious code never actually touches the hard drive, it's almost impossible to find with traditional tools. Most antivirus programs are like security guards patrolling a building, checking all the files. But BlackMamba isn't a file. It's a ghost floating through the hallways. It does its dirty work and then just disappears. No fingerprints, no trace left behind. So that's the problem. The old playbook is basically useless against this. If the old ways of catching bad guys don't work anymore, what are we supposed to do? Well, it means we have to completely rethink our defenses. It's time for a whole new rulebook. So how do you fight a ghost? The new strategy is a total 180. First up, you have to fight fire with fire, or in this case, AI with AI. The new defenses have to be smart enough to spot malicious intent, not just a piece of code they've seen before. That leads to the next big thing, behavioral monitoring. We have to stop asking, what is this program, and start asking, what is this program doing? Is it acting shady? This all ties into an idea called zero trust, which basically means you don't trust anyone or anything on your network by default. And finally, we have to go hunting where the ghost lives, in the computer's live memory. That's a field called memory forensics. And this isn't just some academic exercise. The need for this new playbook gets really, really serious when you think about the potential targets. We're not just talking about protecting your laptop from getting a virus. We're talking about protecting the very systems that make our modern world function. I'm talking about something called operational technology, or OT. These are the systems that control physical stuff, the machinery in factories, the switches in our power plants. And a lot of these systems are, well, they're old. They can be a real pain to update, and they were built in an era when nobody dreamed of a cyber threat that could think and adapt on the fly. And just think about what's at stake here. The potential targets are literally the backbone of our society. An attack like this could try to shut down the power grid for an entire city. It could target a water treatment facility, or it could bring the economy to a halt by shutting down factories. We're talking about real-world, potentially catastrophic damage. And that really brings us to the big picture, the so what of all this. BlackMamba isn't the end of the story. You could say it was the starting pistol for a whole new kind of arms race. It's the beginning of a conflict in cyberspace that's going to escalate, and fast. This quote from the researchers who built BlackMamba it hits the nail on the head. In cybersecurity, the real vulnerability isn't some new piece of malware. It's complacency. It's thinking that the way we've always done things is good enough. In this new world, if you're standing still, you're not just standing still. You're a sitting duck. So, at the end of the day, what BlackMamba has given us is a crystal clear look at the future battleground. This isn't just about people writing defenses against code anymore. The future is AI versus AI. It's a relentless race to see who can adapt faster, the AI trying to attack or the AI trying to defend. And in that race, speed and intelligence are everything. It's a pretty intense thought, and it leaves us with one last critical question. The AI arms race, it's not coming soon. It's not on the horizon. It has already begun. The only real question left is, are we ready?